Needham fans were wise to clear their schedules this past weekend because plenty of Rockets teams gave them an array of playoff action. In the thick of all that action, it was the boys and girls soccer teams. The boys got it started with a decisive 4-1 victory over New Bedford on Saturday, November 5th, and then on Sunday the 6th, the girls got their crack at the action with a first-round matchup at Newton South, as for the first time in a while, the Rockets would be starting their postseason path on the road. That is where we pick up the highlights. Well, it's a quiet first half, not too many chances either side, but the big one coming for Newton South. A scramble here after a throw-in, and Audrey Levy's shot is tipped up and over the net just by a hair by Liz Valentini. It's scoreless at halftime. Into the second half, another dangerous play for the Rockets. Valentini, she loses her initial hander after catching in the corner, but somehow, in all that mad scramble right there, gets back to scoop up the loose ball. And then Needham, they get a chance of their own at the end of regulation. Pinto with the throw in here. It bounces out to Caitlin Strauss, who steps up, and she takes a strike, but it goes just wide of the net. And we are heading to overtime, folks. The Rockets, they get a good shot in the second overtime here. Olivia Grief creates some separation from her defender. Her shot, though, is denied by a diving Sydney Green. I think the sun played a part in that one. But we're still scoreless, so to penalty kicks we go. Each team makes their first three, and the fourth for Newton South tips off the crossbar, and that opens the door for the Rockets to take the lead. It's Kriya Baker-Durrani, last year's hero. She steps up and slips it by Green just barely. So now we go back to Newton South. The pressure's on them. If Valentini stops this one, the Rockets are moving on. And she does. She makes the rolling save, and Needham is moving on with a 4-3 win in PKs. They would move on to play Whitman-Hanson in the quarterfinals, which unfortunately they would lose 2-0, but a terrific, terrific season by the Rockets nonetheless, and exciting moments just like that. Well, after their victory over New Bedford, the Rockets had a quarterfinal meeting with rival Wellesley, who upset third-seeded Silver Lake 3-2 in double overtime last weekend. Well, the game between the Rockets and Raiders was scoreless at the end of regulation, and it stayed that way until halfway through the first overtime. That is when Kyle Brady uncorked a laser of a goal from 15 yards out, sending the Rockets to the sectional semifinals against another Bay State Conference opponent in Weymouth. And Needham and Weymouth, they split 2 games in the regular season, both winning on their home fields, and both games decided by 1 goal. This game, well, not so surprisingly, it followed the script. In the first half, 20 minutes left. Weymouth has a throw-in. It's flicked just enough, you can see right there, to get it by Andrew McNally and net, and the Wildcats are the ones taking the lead at 1-0. 2 minutes later, it's Adam Ford taking a corner for the Wildcats. He curls it perfectly to the back post. Nothing anyone on the Rockets D can do about that one, and unfortunately, it's a 2-0 deficit for the Rockets. Late in the half, McNally, he makes a critical save. Ball comes out in front here, but punches that one out to keep it a 2-goal lead. That would be a crucial save, as we'll show you why, because the second half proved to be a completely different story for Needham. Kyle Brady would eventually get the ball here. He gets it on his left foot, which he loves so much, finds his spot, and Kyle Brady's got bingo, everybody. That gets the Rockets on the board. Finally, 35 minutes left. A minute later, Michael McShane passes it up to Ethan Coblin. McShane loops around him. He gets the ball back here, and he pops one right there to the far post. We got a tie game. The only thing we might have to work on is that celebration, but don't worry, I'll talk to McShane about that one. And then with 15 minutes to play, it's Brady again. Michael Axman with the throw-in. We got double bingo for Kyle Brady, everybody. 3-2, the Rockets come all the way back. They're up 3-2, but hold on. Weymouth has a shot at this one. Rockets are pumped up as they should be. The throw-in for Weymouth comes here. Shot comes out front, but way over the net. I think a little too much adrenaline running through the Wildcat player there. And Needham advances 3-2. They will play Braintree in an all-Bay State sectional final, which will be Sunday, November 13th. Mark your calendars, folks, at Milford High School. Game time for that one is 3:30 p.m.